Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, and in today's video we're going to talk about 7 brands that no longer wow me. And a lot of these brands I still do use here and there on my channel, but you don't really see it a whole bunch. And quite honestly, I wanted to make this video because in the past couple of years I haven't really been purchasing from these brands, so I wanted to just create this video and just talk a little bit about the makeup scene, right? So I'm going to go in no particular order, but I'm going to start off with Stila. I used to be an advocate for Stila. My goal for the longest time was to have like my entire collection Stila, and this was back when I first got into makeup. I fell in love with their eyeliner, and since then I just felt like, okay, I love these pens. I ended up tapering off from their eyeliner simply because it was a felt tip and the tip was fraying on me a lot. So although I really love the formula of it, and my mom still does, I just personally like a brush tip a little bit better. And then after that, I felt like the launch that really captivated me was their Glitter and Glow eyeshadows, and I thought, oh my god, perfect. I really do love that. I keep it in my client kit and I use it almost all of the time whenever I'm working on somebody. It's perfect, it's glittery, it's vibrant, and it just adds that perfect amount of shine without doing too much. But the Glitter and Glow was launched in like what, 2018, 2019, something around there, and I feel like since then Stila hasn't been speaking to me as much as it used to. So that really breaks my heart because I used to wish and dream of working for Stila, but quite honestly, I don't think that I'm their primary market. I feel like right now they're trying to market to somebody who is more of like kind of like the Becca clients, you know, somebody who's looking for like soft, natural, but then here's a little bit of glitter here and there. And you know, I just think that Stila kind of needs a rebrand and it needs to captivate the younger audiences like how they did with me. Buxom. I used to be in love with Buxom glosses in high school. I swore by them, and I always used to buy the minis because I couldn't afford the full size. And I just remember one day I'm gonna get a full-size Buxom gloss and it's gonna be over for everybody. Like, it's going to be over. And quite honestly, once I was able to afford Buxom glosses full price, I just found myself not really gravitating towards it anymore. Like, I just felt like, yes, the formula is really bomb, it's really amazing, I love the way it makes my lips feel, but when they come out with palettes, it's so lackluster. When they come out with anything else, I'm just like, I need more. I really do need more. And I believe they are a sister brand to Bare Minerals, and I believe Shiseido also owns Buxom. So given that Buxom and Bare Minerals are a sister brand, I feel like now that I look at it in that perspective, I just don't see that much of a difference. Like, yes, I feel like you get a little bit of color with the glosses, you know, you do get some reds, you do get like a purple here and there, but aside from that, I feel like they're really living off of their glosses and nothing else. So I really feel like they also need a rebrand and to reach out to the younger audiences, like in the late teens, early 20s, to really build up that brand. When I started my channel 6 years ago, I was obsessed with BH Cosmetics. Every tutorial that I had on this channel, you bet your ass I was wearing something from BH Cosmetics, because at the time I felt like they were so affordable, they were amazing, and yeah, they are, but now I rarely own anything from BH. I don't even think, you know what, I have one brush from BH Cosmetics and it's a concealer brush, and that's it. That is it. Out of my full collection of BH Cosmetics, I only have one concealer brush, and that's just because I feel like the palette formula for me was a little too dry. I felt like the brushes only lasted me 2 years, and I feel like overall I'm not wowed as much as I was in the past. And I feel like I was wowed before because I was new to makeup and I was new to just exploring different brands, so it was obviously exciting for me. But the more that they launched, the more I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where they fell off, and it might have been just me discovering different products at different price points and just exploring, I don't know, just my taste. And quite frankly, I think I outgrew BH Cosmetics as a brand, which is why I don't feel like they wow me enough or really speak to me as much as they used to. Let's go ahead and talk about Colourpop. Now, I haven't purchased anything from Colourpop in quite a while. The last time I purchased something from Colourpop was to gift it to somebody else, and none of that purchase was for me. So I think what I'm trying to get at is I feel like Colourpop is just one of those brands that really tries to push packaging. And I say that in a way because their most recent launch, the Animal Crossings launch, I felt like was the most exciting for me because I like Animal Crossings. I play it a lot, but I feel like when I looked at everything and I pieced it out and I just took away the packaging, I just felt like it was like, you get a quad, you get a glitter in a pot, you get just some tinted lip balms, and I just felt like, damn, if it wasn't for Animal Crossings, I wouldn't have been excited. And for a lot of their other launches, they launch so fast and it's so quick to be discontinued, which is really sad for me because I feel like when they used to have products that were sitting in the line for a really long time, I felt like that was when Colourpop was really popping. Like, I felt like when they had all of these palettes that were not just like a one-time purchase, like, you know, once it's sold out, it's sold out. Like when they had the Yes Please and the I Think I Love You, and then at one point, you know, they came out with a You Had Me at Hello, which was iconic. I felt like that was when Colourpop was thriving. And yes, they did keep launching and they were there for a longer period of time, but I feel like now their launches are just so fast paced, and a lot of people do mention that they're like the fast fashion of makeup, and it is kind of true because like once it's sold out, it's sold out. And then, you know, unless it's like a dedicated collection like the Mulan collection or what else did they have that sold out? I don't know, I think like the Disney one, like only then is when they would come out with a restock, and that's so sad. And as somebody who creates content regularly, it's really hard to use things that are discontinued because you have people in your comments asking, oh, I really want this, but you know, they don't have it, they don't sell it. And then you're just like, well, I feel bad for recommending it, you know? And I feel like for like the everyday consumer who doesn't have a platform or a blog or anything like that, it's easier to use those things that are discontinued. But I feel like for me personally and the lifestyle that I'm living, it's a little bit harder to use things that are no longer being sold. Let's talk about Morphe. I've mentioned Morphe a good chunk on my channel, and I feel like when I first started college, I was a Morphe girl. Like, I had the Morphe brushes, I had the Morphe palettes, and I literally had like almost a full face of Morphe in my collection. This was before they launched lip products. And when I did actually, you know, start to progress in my makeup journey, I found a lot of brands that I really do love, and in that span of time, I also felt like the Morphe formula with their eyeshadows was so poor in comparison to a lot of other eyeshadow palettes in my collection at the time. Morphe palettes for me, they age really, really poorly. They start getting dry and patchy, harder to blend during that 1 year mark. And you know, that's not a long time. I feel like powders in itself should last you 4 years. And although there are specific shades and specific palettes that work better than others, for the majority of it, I feel like it wasn't worth it. So I had, I think it was the 25A and the 25B palettes. This was when they first launched. And I just remember like really utilizing it almost every single day. And then suddenly I took a break from them, and when I went back, it was just such poor quality. Like, it wasn't the Morphe quality that I was into. And then I had the 35O, same thing happened with that. I had the 9A palette, and that was not good either. So I just felt like I had a reoccurring theme. And then I also had some discontinued ones. So I had the Kathleen Light palette, and even that one just failed me. So I just feel like for me, Morphe is just one of those brands that I feel like is a little overhyped in my opinion, especially with their palettes, and they are known mostly for their eyeshadow palettes. I also don't really like the color scheme of their new eyeshadow palettes either. I think the only color scheme that I really liked was it the 24A? or something like that. No, I don't remember, but it was something, it was a bigger palette and it had neutrals in it and it had some greens, like olive greens, and I just remember really enjoying that, but I didn't get a chance to get it, which was fine because in the end I feel like I wouldn't have been able to get the extended use as I do now with my other palettes. ABH. This breaks my heart because ABH was like the Kickstarter to high-end makeup for me. Stila and ABH were definitely those brands that I could not live without. I swore by them. I really loved the ABH brow pomade. I collected every single ABH palette like it was nobody's business. Like I had the artist palette, I had the Shadow Couture palette, I had the self-made palette, I even went up to Modern Renaissance, and I was just like, damn. Like I saved up money for ABH. Like I saved up every penny, every scrap of money that I had just to go into a Macy's or a Sephora just to get these palettes. And this was back when ABH palettes were a $35 price point. I loved that. Do you remember that? Do you miss that? I remember, I think the artist palette was $30. And I just remember saving up my paychecks, going into Macy's and being like, this is it. This is the one. And as I, again, progressed, I just felt like ABH shadows in itself, once they came out with Modern Renaissance, every palette that they released after that was just so dry. It was dry, hard to blend, similar to Morphe, and I believe they also did do a new formula with that Modern Renaissance and going forward. I believe their eyeshadows used to be hand pressed and then the newer formula was like machine pressed or something like that. I can't quite remember because it's been a couple of years, but the formula changed and that's when I was like, damn it. Like it was just like the end of ABH eyeshadows for me until they launched the Jackie Aina palette. That was what kind of revived me back into it. I am still kind of wary of that palette because I haven't had it for a year yet. It might just be reaching, but it's still good quality, which is nice. But as far as like brow pomade, the brow pencil, the brow wiz, I do not like the brow wiz because it breaks so fast. Like the actual component breaks on me, and I have purchased 4 of them and every single one of them has broken on me, which is just so irritating to me. I also have tried, you know, their regular single eyeshadows. Those are okay. They're not the best formula. They're definitely less in quality than like the palettes itself. The liquid lipsticks are pretty good, but I just find myself not reaching for them. I've also tried their highlighters, their glow kits. The glow kits are my favorite. I've tried their contour kits. The contour kits are really good. I keep those ones in my client kit. But aside from all of that, I just feel like recent launches with the whole Norvina palette and the whole like how they treat their employees just really rubbed me the wrong way. How they don't pay influencers well, just everything about that, it just, wow. Like wow in a different way, because it's just like you are now taking somebody who was like a hardcore ABH stan to being somebody who just doesn't even want to purchase any new launches. And there you have it, you guys, all 7 brands that I feel like no longer wow me or that have lost their spark. But I also wanted to mention that I feel like in general, not a lot of makeup launches have been catching my eye, and that's just been my feeling since the beginning of 2020. I just haven't really been like swept off my feet. Nothing has been exceptionally new. There have been like a couple of things here and there, but honestly, I'm really content with the way that my makeup collection is looking. I really love the way that like I have all of my nudes that I need. I have all of the makeup palettes that I've ever wished and dreamed of. I have all of my brushes. You know, it's just like I am in a place right now in my makeup collection where I don't feel like purchasing anything, and a lot of the brands that I used to know and love and really support, sometimes their business practices can get tarnished in the last couple of years. And you know what? It happens. It really happens. It happens with food brands, clothing brands, you name it. And you know, I just hope that this video wasn't too negative for you. I just wanted to give my honest opinions on why you guys aren't seeing these brands on my channel as much anymore as I did 6 years ago. I know 6 years is a very long time, but you know what? A lot can happen. A lot can change. So I hope that you guys found this video fun to watch, and I would love to hear you guys in the comments down below on what brands you no longer purchase and why. I'm kind of nosy because I just want to see what's going on behind your brain and your mindset. I would just love to know. So I hope you guys all really enjoy this one, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Peace out, Girl Scouts.